our G5 game of the week, which is Western Kentucky headed on the road to Jack State, who we just talked about a couple of weeks ago. And we know we have AWL, so shout out Fried AKC if you're in the live chat tonight, which is Wednesday. We're not here, so we're not going to be mentioning you, but we're still thinking about you. And we got Jack State on our G5 game of the week as an underdog. Once again, this time to the tops of Western Kentucky and that high-flying offense. Let's break this game down from the top. Why don't you start for us, Jake?
Yeah, this one's going to be fun. Is this going to be like last year? Are we going to see this game? Is this going to be a rematch no matter what in a week, or is there another opportunity?
No.
So what happens? Does anybody know?
I think it's a guarantee.
Actually, it might be because unless Kennesaw wins, if Kennesaw loses and Western win, I think it's a rematch this time on the Hill. But if I don't know.
Correct. You're right. If Liberty beats Kennesaw State, Jack State is in. I believe that is the scenario.
Even if they lose?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, this one's going to be fun either way. This is a contrast in styles. This is the run-heavy Jack State offense against the high-flying passing attack of Western Kentucky. And in Western Kentucky, there's been a different look offense since Rodney Tisdale has taken over. Like, he adds a different extension to this offense with his legs and with his ability to scramble than Maverick McIver did halfway through the year. Both these teams average 29 points per game. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. Jax is just going to have to create havoc, and it's going to have to come by the way of turnovers this week. They have a total of 19 turnovers forced this year, while Western's only forced four total fumbles, which makes you think like that Cam Cook and running offense is not really going to probably give the ball up more than once, if at all, running the football, because Western Kentucky doesn't really create a ton of turnovers. But Jax knows how to force picks, and I'm really excited to see that. Jack State also held Delaware to just 34 rush yards and 4 interceptions to Kennesaw. So, I think this Jack State defense matches up with a pass-heavy offense really well. But also, I think the ability for Tisdale to scramble the football also makes this a lot easier than what Delaware presented a couple of weeks ago. But also, Odom and Kennesaw can run it a little bit. So maybe Jack State's kind of built for this and ready for this as well. But either way, going to be really fun. This one punches your ticket into the Conference USA title no matter what. This is easily the best G5 game of the week.
It definitely is. And we want to give a special shout out to follower of the show, offensive coordinator Clint Trickett. Gave him the flower a couple weeks ago in his G5 game of the week preview. But really, this Jack State offense hasn't gotten the flowers they deserve and what they've done against the top teams within this conference. And on the flip side, Western Kentucky and what they've done is they've had some missing pieces on the defensive side, and they've really fallen in the rushing game. Western Kentucky defense giving up 171 yards a game on the ground. That puts them damn near 100th in college football out of 136 teams. And then on the flip side, what does Jack State do, and what do they want to do, and what do they do extremely well? Run the football. They're putting up 260 yards on the ground a game, puts them top 5 in college football, ranked 3rd. They have one of the best underrated running backs with the coolest story in the nation in Cam Cook. I think they hand him the ball. They dominate the time of possession, keep Western Kentucky's offense off the field. And that right there is basically the matchup picture for me. 3 is simply because of the offensive talent Western Kentucky has. But I think if they keep him off the field enough, force 1 or 2 of those turnovers that they got against a good Kennesaw offense, Jack State can get this done. I think it's going to be a hell of an environment again this weekend. What do you think, JP?
Yeah, ironically, both these teams lost to an FIU team that's kind of been struggling, but must have been a really poor matchup for both of them. Jack's got 2 picks. Yeah, got 2 picks last week, still ends up losing the game, gave up 10 fourth quarter points and didn't get any. It was up 21-17 going into that, and I think lost 27-21. And it's just one of those situations where you bring in Tisdale, but he's a little more prone to the mistakes. I think he's already at 5 interceptions in the couple of games that he's had and started. Been sacked 10 times. It's not a great Western Kentucky offensive line. And I'm not thinking that, no, Jackson is going to be able to get after him consistently. Like, there's a huge talent difference there, but it's more so based around the fact that I've seen this Western team give up a ton of pressure, right? And they're not going to run the ball. And if they are, it's like Jake said, like, they're going to be able to get him out of the pocket. It's a lot of scramble yardage, right? Are you able to cover there's 5 guys on this Western team with 25 more receptions and 3 of them above 35. A lot of different options, right? This isn't just a downfield passing attack. It can stay within 0 to 5 and 0 to 10 yards and kind of let guys make plays on the edge. You have to tackle in space. It's not something that's done super well to this point. And I think that's where we struggled in some spots. You got to control the tempo, play it at your pace. And if they hit a couple big ones, it doesn't mean come out of your shell and start trying to be something that you're not if you're the Gamecocks here. So for me, I like Jack State here. I think you're at a team at home. You look at last week, you're kind of a little bit pissed about it, thinking that's when you should have. Like everything felt like it was going your way till that fourth quarter. And now you're bringing in a team in Western that's still the king of the Conference USA world for the last couple of years. And you got to just buck up and make a play. Like you got to fight back to get to the conference title and a chance to host it. I think that does a lot for a still relatively new FBS program.
This exact situation happened last year, didn't it? Like with these two programs, was it the rematch the week after and Western Kentucky blast them in the conference title? Right? Am I far off in saying? Other way around.
Jacksonville State won by like 30 something that conference title game.
Yeah, so we're looking to try and keep the narrative here, Jack State. But if you're Western Kentucky, my one worry when it comes to picks before we go to JT, I didn't forget about you. They went on the road last week to Baton Rouge against a beaten and broken LSU team without a head coach, but they had a chance to win that football game, gents. Like they had a legitimate chance. So do you build on what they just did against an SEC team that's reviewed as as one of the higher brands in college football as they should be? Or is Jack State coming off this loss, like just the situations of where the morale's at of both these teams coming off a loss? You got to feel like Western Kentucky's got the edge in that factor at least. JT.
Yeah, first of all, what an elite mascot matchup we got this weekend between these two teams.
Big Red and the Cox.
Great
Big Red and the
logo
Big Red Cox
choices that you got down there for the graphic on the bottom, but not a whole lot of unique takes from me over here compared to what you guys had. I've had it broken down pretty much the same way that Parks had it, where it's really interesting looking at these two teams. I mean, Western Kentucky loves to pass the ball, and they're very susceptible to the run. Jacksonville State loves to run the ball, and they're very susceptible to the pass.
Yeah.
So for me, I just feel more comfortable taking the points with the team that's at home and going to dominate time of possession and be less susceptible to turnovers. So give me Cam Cook and the Cox to dominate at home.
All right. So that's a unanimous Jack State pick then, Jake?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my
100%. I'll take the 3. Also,
right,
looking at
we won on the sweep last week, a couple weeks ago.
We did.
Good.
So yeah, if Kennesaw needs to win and one of these teams to lose. If Jack State loses
and Kennesaw State loses, Jack State.
Yeah.
But doesn't host.
Cool. I don't know if Kennesaw wins the tiebreaker with Western Kentucky though. I don't know that one.
They have not played. It would have been second loss for Kennesaw if Western wins. And that'd be only one loss.
I'm saying if Western Kentucky loses and Kennesaw, Kennesaw loses.
Yeah, I'd have to dive into that a little bit more. Bad podcasting on our end. Probably should look at that.
If Friday KC's got us in the comments, we got the listeners. They know, some of them out there know ball, but we also do. So that's why you're listening to the show. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We will cover the G5 all season long. Western Kentucky and Jack State's going to be a great one, so make sure to tune into that one this weekend.